Welcome to the compound, Agent Irontree. Quantico has notified me that you're 100% up to speed on our situation here at our compound.
Received my last briefing late last night. Our section leader stated empathetically that we are to be completely at ease in all of our recorded official studies, observations, and dealings with Treston Hut.
Same here. Any idea why?
Oh, do I. At Langley, our best 3 code decipher teams have had mental breakdowns, or psychic breaks, working on Treston Hut's intel feed you've been sending to us. And this is even harder to believe. 2 fully dedicated, top-tier intel computers that can decode a Russian fart have had complete meltdowns every time we load them up with Ivan's broadcasts. You ever hear of inanimate object? In this case, ultra state-of-the-art supercomputers crying? They sound like a billion gerbils sobbing. Pitiful.
Fortunately, I missed that particular experience, but dealing with him in person gives me a pretty good idea of what those unfortunate Intel computers are going through. Ivan's sense of humor could strip a bird of its confidence in its own flying abilities.
Okay. Very reliable sources inside Russia are very certain his passing on previously gathered intel on a vast array of subjects. We are the front line in preventing any further breaches. We are to study anything he does, such as, but not limited to, the order of his smartass jokes, the joke's subject matter, the number of giggles, voice inflection, body shift, head angle, hand and body movement, pauses in speech, when, where, and how he makes apparent flubs, and how he corrects them, the number of words he uses, and their words' numbers of letters.
Agent. Last 3 days I've been reading that list that seems to be never ending. The computer-generated printout was as huge as a sarcastic Trump slam on one of his opponents. And now I realize, after hearing of Langley's computer difficulties, why there's a postscript note at the end of the printout.
Oh, where the computers both complain of their feelings of gross inadequacy and beg for either help on the equivalent of a cyanide suicide pill for computers? Bluechuck, fire up Ivan, the brain cell destroyer Treston Hut.
And rob U.S. West Coast banks. Yes, real bunch of creep. Like a tether group who killed police in 1970s called the Worthless Underground. Oh, correction, Weather Underground. Yeah, they pieces of shit too. So that qualified them, those founding members, to be best pals with Barack Obama. Anyway, new terror group going around and kidnapping, robbing banks, and killing innocent people, and being general pieces of poo, just like 1970s terror group inspiration, the Symbionese Liberation Army. Only members of this terror group, they had jobs. When they're not doing all this terror stuff, they have jobs as Uber drivers, which maybe explain their name. Uber in Liberation Army. Yeah. Same army. If army mean, some army. If army mean group of idiot. Uber in Liberation Army. Yeah, it's gonna be some real terror group there. They're gonna kill themselves, hopefully. But not while carrying around passenger in the Uber car. We're not anti-Uber, we're anti-terrorist. Did you know every last person in America who had blue eyes wish they had green eyes? Everyone who have green eyes in America want to have hazel eyes. Everyone who had hazel eyes want brown eyes. Everyone with brown eyes in Russia alone, who a man and want to smooch the one-eyed Russian worm, he get rewarded for his effort with the not so coveted black eye. Yeah, people know, people with the black eye, they aspire to have nobody notice they got the black eye. Did you know in intelligent people's brains, one side of brain more intelligent than the other? Well, brain a stupid person, like politician, both sides of brain exactly the same. The higher the politician rise in government, the more likely, at least one, if not both, heads of their brains hate each other. And no doubt for damn good reason. You can have one half of your brain be very crooked and hate the other side, but when two halves of the brain are very stupid and very crooked, one thing about a crook for a human or a brain is they never see themselves as crook. It's always some kind of rationale. So you can see two crooked sides that are also stupid, that don't realize they're both crooked and stupid, so they accuse the other side of being crooked and stupid. That's why most politicians are very messed up people. I'm not going to name names, but you know who I am thinking of. If you don't know how the Russians think. Did you know 5 out of 3 Americans don't trust their elected officials? Well, in our mama Russia, 99% of all citizens trust all elected officials. Other 1%, usually sometimes usually friend of mine, usually found at bottom of cliff they must have been walking on full-heartedly, too close to the edge of the top of that cliff. They accidentally fall down from. Oddly, more often than not, impaling themselves on a sign formally posted on the ridge at the top of the cliff. Wonder who go over first? A sign or a person? Maybe they go at the same time. Anyway, signs always say when they found through impaled body a derivative saying of this edge you're walking on is very unstable and dangerous, and oh, you're dead. Very odd. We in Russia have psychic signs. They can make a lot of money over here, those psychic signs over here in America. Americans like to pay good money to learn the psychic truth, and these signs seem to nail it 100% of the time. It's hard to beat 100% of the time. Unless you're the Russian and unless you're a communist, then you can be right 200% of the time. Did you know the size of a man's penis generally reflect his level of intellect? Longer and larger the penis, the lesser the brain power. The shorter the penis, the more or higher intellect. Probably explain two obvious things. And you guess what I'm going to say? Probably explain two obvious things. Why females so much smarter than men? And why I just discovered I must be genius. It's kind of an insulting compliment. On a sadder note, if male touching self-made, male more intelligent, this whole world be approximately 117 trillion years more advanced. Yeah. If you got smarter by touching yourself as a man, definitely. It might be maybe 300 trillion years more advanced versus 117 trillion years more advanced. I really don't know who did the calculations, but I suspect they're very good at math. You know, sitting here, I'm beginning to believe that the touching leads to greater intelligence. You know, just may work for a small few. Quotation marks on the small, I guess. Because I'm really starting to get clearer and smarter head on my shoulders right now. Well, everybody gets their inspiration in different ways. That is pretty much what we have to share with our comrades back in Russia today, and for any of the FBI or the NSA or the CIA or the Gooby Dooby Booby A, not to be confused with the Buble. You have a wonderful day. I want to give a shout out to my Russian comrades. I want to tell them how much I love them, how much I miss the mother Russia, how my heart aches for everybody in Russia, how the people in Russia are the best people, kindest people, toughest people too in the world. I also want to share all that love that you heard me say for Russia. I want to share that with America. Only divide that love by 2, and I give that love to you. Thank you.